Hi everyone, welcome. This is Gina. Today I was working on some book pages and I ended up with some of these. Aren't they cute? That's texture paste. And I thought I would turn on my phone to see if y'all were interested in watching. This turned out to be a bit of a longer video than I thought. So if you want, you can join me, gather your book pages and some glue and just make some too if you want, or make whatever you want, whatever you have available with you, whatever you're working on now, even if it's collage or whatever it is, you could just bring it along. So, what I was doing is making some pockets and belly bands. Some of them turned into bookmarks, but were really supposed to be belly bands. So, I'm folding my page in three. With that one before, I forgot and I only folded it in half, but I was thinking it might be a bit too flimsy, but I think it could still be used as a belly band. Just once it's stuck down well enough, I think it, and then if I add stuff on top of it, well, I should say when I add stuff on top of it, I think it should be fine as a belly band. Stiff enough, it will eventually, toughen up. But I realize when I fold my page in three parts, it's stronger and I like the size of it better. And yeah, it just feels better in my hand. So I just kind of average it, I don't measure, and I just fold it. So my trick to doing this folding in three is when I fold it the first time, I fold it so that the page then looks like it's half. So when I fold over the first one, I try to do it so that it looks like I am dividing my page in half. Well, anyways, so these are the pockets. I was just fiddling around. And I mean, I've watched many videos on people doing lots of page pockets, but I just, I was stressed out and I just wanted to fold paper and I wanted to glue stuff down. And I just thought, you know what, let me just do this. And I'm not in the mood for any sort of cutting or anything today. So I just folded my pages. I just had to try and remember where to put the glue. And I just folded and I thought I would just glue the whole thing to the back. So I just demonstrating that's my pocket. Oh, and I realized this part here is opening, so I'm just gonna put some glue there. But the purpose of those is just to glue the entire thing down to the page. And that is it. Because all the all I really wanted to do was not create a whole new thing, but simply just to relieve some stress. So here I'm trying to fold it so that the writing is right side up. And I'm putting that mini fold first because I want the pocket to have some sturdiness, the top of the pocket to have some sturdiness. And then the reason I'm folding the sides is because I want also the sides to have some strength, because sometimes I find when I just stick the raw edges of the page together, I feel like it's not going to be strong enough. And after a while, it's going to rip out easier. So I thought I'll fold it over so that the fold would give it a stronger edge and it will help it to be a stronger pocket. I know that it's bulkier, but I like that it's folded so that I don't know, it just feels stronger. So when all my edges are folded, which is the top of the pocket, the sides of the pocket, then I feel like it's a stronger pocket. So that's the reason that I'm doing all the folding. But to be honest, my hands, I feel like sometimes when my mind is going all over the place, my hands need to be busy doing something with paper or art. I need to paint or draw or cut and glue and stick. And that's right. So here I'm showing you, these are my pockets. Yay! And these are the belly bands. And yeah. So now I'm going to decorate these with paint today. I've been using paper before, but today I'm going to use paint. And here I realized that I just have 5 and I thought I'd make it even by doing 6 because I was like, so I'll do three and then only two. I was like, no, let's do three and three. So I'm just doing one more pocket here, and then I'm going to paint. And even though I wanted to just get stuff done and use my hands and just create, I also wanted to keep it simple. So I'm going to start off by using my brayer and some paint. I'm not really using my brush. I didn't want the brush strokes. I wanted the texture from the brayer. So now I have my 6 pockets. Yay! And of course, if you're doing this and you choose to do any of this, you can make your folds to the back. When you fold it, when you fold the paper to the back, you can make it as wide or as narrow as you want, because the wider it is, the narrower your pocket is. And the narrower you fold to the back, the wider your pocket will be. So, and then of course you could stick it down on your page any direction. You could stick it down sideways or facing up. So, I mean, it's your pocket. And of course you could do it any size because you have different size book pages, right? And I'm just spraying the excess off. See, I was trying to decide if to paint the back, but I was like, no, I'm gonna stick the pocket down on my page. And what I realized after was that I could also stick just the sides of the pocket, the bottom and the two sides, so that I actually would end up with 2 pockets. And that means, therefore, that I could actually cut down the top of the pocket, or I could fold it back so that the top would also have some strength. And I would have 2 pockets if I don't glue down the entire back to the page. If I just glue the 2 sides and the bottom, I'll have that pocket to the back. So I think for some of them, I will fold down the top so that I'll have that extra strength of the pocket. So while the other set is drying, I'm just adding these. I'm doing these 3 now. I don't know, I didn't feel like using my brayer too much. And I wasn't too much in a hurry because, as I said, this was a distressing exercise for me. And I enjoyed the time spent at the table. So I allowed that to dry. Well, I always have my fan on, so I allowed that to dry. And then I worked on the others. So I'm bringing these back in. And today with these, I decided to add collage to it. So I thought brown would look good with this pink and blue. But then when I put it on it, I realized it's just too busy because the background of the card, the pocket is busy. So I realized that I have to use a plain paper to add the collage. So I found this one and I'm just cutting out the plain parts of it. Well, what seems plainer, it's not spacey, it's just paint, even though it's kind of lighter and darker, which I actually really love. So I'm just adding the darker paint that's not splotchy to the cards. And I thought these were different because the others I did, what did I do with the others? I collaged on them actually, yeah. I didn't paint at all. So with these I painted and I thought, hey, Gina, you could actually do some more with paint. So I'm going to do that. I'm going to make some more because life be life and right now. And I will paint on them. So it's fantastic. And now I'm just going to add the collage pieces and, just fiddle around a lot and try and figure out what to put where, what kind of pieces to cut. And I'm just going to work on those while I de-stress. So I hope that all of you, even if you're not creating, I hope that you all are good and you all are enjoying the video. I hope it's relaxing and encouraging and, generating some ideas because, we feed off of each other. And for those of you who are creating, I hope that whatever you choose to do, whether it's a sketch or, if you're working with book pages like me, that you're having a good time and you are enjoying the process. Because I did enjoy this process very much. What I also wanted to do was keep it simple. So During this time, I was thinking, keep it simple, Gina. We're not trying to add too much information on this because depending on where I use it, I will still want to add maybe an image, some type of focal point. Maybe. It depends on where I'm using it. And I may want to add a word or something, that would tie into whatever it is I'm using it for. So I really hope that you all are enjoying your process and your journey, your art journey, your creative journey. And I hope that you use it well, like how I'm using it here to help me relax and woosah and just breathe and get my stress out. I hope we all use it for something positive in our lives, while also not making it our God. Because that's actually one of the things I'm very concerned about. I don't want to turn it into my God where it becomes an idol. And, well, I talk to God often about that. I don't want it to come before Him, and I want it to be guided by Him. So, yeah, that is a great concern of mine. So let's not, I think it's all about balance, and I always want to make sure that I'm not imbalanced where art is concerned. And then I was listening to another artist, another creator, and what she said, it makes sense. Sometimes you feel like doing certain things, other times, because these days I feel like making ephemera. I'm not into painting so much because I don't know, I don't know. But anyway, yeah, that's what I just want to fold people and cut and stick, and I'm into paper a lot, not painting so much. And what she was saying is sometimes, we go through seasons in art and it makes sense. I was like, oh yeah, that's true. Because sometimes I do create more of these types of things than I would paint. And, when she said it, I was like, oh yeah, I guess that's just my, my seasonal change. That's just how my seasons run. So maybe now that it's clicked, I could I could probably check to see if it's because the seasons of life and the seasons of the world, it's very structured. This is coming after this, this is the time for this. So I think now maybe I'll check to see if it's running, if my seasonal changes, if it's running like that. Because, sometimes, for example, um, your body might go through certain things, and then when you realize and you do a check, you'll be like, oh yeah, it's like every 3 months this has really happened, or last year around this time this really happened, and true, you know, like your foot might peel. I don't know if that happens to anybody, or your hands might peel a bit, and you realize, oh yeah, it's around August that I realized this happened. So I think I'll probably check and see if it's like a specific seasonal change that happens, or and why am I doing this? Because I have nothing else to do, right? I'm so not busy, quote unquote. But anyway, so I thought this beautiful bright yellow would look good with these. I just love it. It just pops. Pops. And I'm when I was creating these, I was thinking, do you know where exactly are you going to use these? Because your journals, they're not so bright, but it's okay. I know that they will find a home, and I'm actually pretty excited to use them and happy that I'm making them so that when the time comes, it'll be just there ready and waiting. So I am excited. But I really enjoyed making these. The choosing of the papers, the choosing of the positions, the shapes, it's just a fantastic process. And sometimes I feel sad for people who don't have this, what we have, the now I know everybody has their thing. Some people are into nails, some people are into makeup, some people are into different types of art creating, they might crochet or, But for those who don't really have anything, because there are those, some people have dance, some people, everybody have their thing. I'm like, wow, y'all are missing out so much with because y'all don't have art. It's like people who don't like to read. I'm like, wow, there's so much to hear. There's so much to receive when you read. It's just fantastic. But I know everybody has their thing, so it's that balances it out for me. But yeah, I've actually been listening to a couple audiobooks, and again, it must be a season because these days I don't know if I haven't found the right one recently, but I can't take it. And I realize that there's a certain accent that I prefer, that I like to hear more than others. I don't know. I don't know. But yes, so these are my pieces basically. And then I'm going to start working on the belly bands slash bookmarks, depending on how I make them. But I really enjoy this process of using these shapes and trying to get them on and trying to get the pieces on. My goal was to use about three pieces on each pocket. And I didn't want to use them too small. I don't know, I just felt like going with kind of bigger pieces. So this was fantastic. And let me know which one of the pockets that you prefer. I know we have 6 here, so let me know which ones that you like better. And I know that there was some placements that I should have left it, when you're offering it up to the page and you're like, should I go here or should I do this? And some of them I really should have left it, but I moved it and then I cut the page and I didn't, and I shouldn't have. But, they still look cool. So let me know, and I would love to hear from you. This piece reminded me of a puzzle. I don't know, I know it's just a piece of paper with a hole, but I really liked it so much and I wanted to use it so badly on this pocket. And then I decided that it just wasn't working and I cut it. And I ended up just using this piece, which looking at it now, I'm like, really? That's the choice you made? Like you didn't even try the other piece? And I felt like I tried it more than I did. But yeah. So okay, those are those. And now we're gonna work on the belly bands. They're all dried now. I prefer so even though even though when I use glue stick, I find that it's not really dry to say per se. So I leave it for a while, and when it dries, you could feel the difference. It feels stiffer and nice. So now I'm just adding I'm doing it the same way. I'm adding the paint with the braille because that's what I'm doing today. And these are the two colors that I'm using. Yeah, this end here didn't stick properly at all. Oh, this I think was an old one that I found. So, see, it looks really flimsy, but I'm still gonna use it. I think it'll still be cool as a belly band. Oh, and I could always stiffen it up. If I am using it, I could always just glue it onto another piece of cardstock or another book page and just stiffen it up. But it's fine. So here I'm adding, these are gonna be pink-ish. Again, I'm trying to keep it simple and just adding two colors. I'm adding the yellow because I liked how the yellow looked below because the yellow was on the page before. And I really like how it looks. So I was like, I think I'll add yellow to these cards. And I added yellow to one or two of these, just a tiny bit. And of course, I added too much yellow to the one on the right. It was ridiculous. So, and I found that it covered up the pink way too much. So I'm adding some pink. What I should have done, of course, was dry it before I added the other color, but it's fine. It's fine. I didn't want to stop. I think that's what happened with these cards. And that's what happened today. I didn't want to stop the flow by using my heat gun. I just wanted to keep creating. And that's why too I like working on several things at the same time, so I could do a set and put that off to dry on the side and then work on something else and then bring it back in. You know, I realized that I actually like that a lot. And today I thought I would use some cloth. So I went digging around and I found some pieces because I have cloth there that I collect that I think, they're interesting in one way or another. And I don't use them because, I just don't use them. So I thought today, let's add some cloth to these belly bands and bookmarks and just give it some nice rich texture. So I thought this was the perfect orange for these cards. And I love the texture. I love it. Love it, love it, love it. So I'm just gluing it down. I'm using regular tacky glue. I was looking for my fabric glue, but I can't find it. I know it's around. I'm just not sure where I used it last. And but the tacky glue works really well. And I'm just gluing it down. I'm looking at this piece. It has some little beads sewed on, but I don't want the beads, so I'm just cutting them off and just trying to see if I want to use it on this card as well. And then we have this lovely piece right here, which is just fantastic. I wanted to use it so badly, but I didn't want to add the colors of the blue and the green. So that's what made it a little difficult for me to use this. And I really thought when I measured it up to it that it was the right size. But then when I finished, cut it out, it was so short. So I was like, I don't know what to do with this now. But it's fine. So I'm still trying to use it. I really, really want to use this piece of cloth. It's so nice. And I'm bunching it up and I'm thinking, oh my gosh, this would look so good if I sew it like this. And I could have hand sewed it, but I don't have my tools nearby. Same thing with the machine, it's not nearby. And I was like, yeah, I don't want to get up to do that. So I'm finding another way. It's interesting when you don't have certain things or, things are not right there. If you don't have it, basically, let's just say you don't have it, you get creative, you get more creative, you know what I mean? Because it doesn't come so easily, so you have to think, okay, how can I use this way instead? Or how can I find a way to use this even though I don't have this tool? I just think it's really cool when we don't have something, how creative we get. So I decided to just add it as a strip and I have my focal point, and then I decided to add the page because I was like, hey, people could write whatever they want, and I just find that so cool. So that's what happened with that, and I loved it. I didn't even think of it. It just kind of happened. So With this cloth, it has a natural curve, so I thought I would use the curve on the card, on the band. And I thought that was so cool. It's taking up too much of it, so I'm cutting it down a bit more. And this is what we got. I'm adding my glue and sticking it down, and I just love it. And the thing about it is, I'm thinking whenever it's in use, there is texture there because this piece of cloth is very textured. It's not smooth. So I just love that tactile um, addition to the band or bookmark. As some of them I still haven't decided. It could always turn into a bookmark because I could always put something on the other side. But for now, it's a band. I think for now, they're all bands until the other side is done. How about that? Yeah. So this is a piece of cloth I got from my seamstress. I just love it. It's so pretty and it's so light and, it's just it's not stiff. So I love that about this piece of cloth. It makes me feel very feminine. Doesn't that look like a skirt? It gives me an idea. And of course I, framed it up. I was like, whoa, this is too wide, and I cut it. But before it looked like a skirt, and I was like, huh, maybe I can work that into some of my other pieces. That's so cool. But yeah. So with this one, I was really trying to use more of the cloth on the band, but it's really not working out. So I just ended up doing a little kind of, you know, cloth bunching right to the top there, and I actually love it because the colors seem really perfect for the band too. Really perfect. And I love this turquoise color. In general, it's so pretty. And I was looking for my staple machine. I have a small pink one with really small staples. I think it's small like the tiny attacher. And I don't even remember where I got it to say, well, I'll go back and look for another one because I just kind of freak out. Like, I really don't want to misplace this staple machine. And I even found staples to go in it here in my country. So I'm really excited that I have it. But I couldn't find it just then, so I used glue and it worked. It worked fine. I'm trying to use this piece of cloth again. And I think I ended up using, adding it. Oh no, I went in with this piece, which the color worked really well as well. I don't know, it's like that work. I didn't plan it. I really didn't plan it. And the colors just fit excellently with it, and I'm just so happy. So I'm just gonna cut a strip, and it ended up going down the middle, and I was like, yes. What would have been perfect if I sewed the pieces on. I think that would have added a magical touch. But again, it wasn't nearby, and I was not about to get up to go set it up because it's not just set up waiting, it's put away because of space. So I really love this. Love it. I'm just putting some clips on to make sure that it stays. I'm smoothing it out so that it stretches all the way that it could and should stretch. And yeah, just love it. It's so pretty and simple. And because I just stuck down the two edges, that can also be a belly. So it's like a belly band on a belly band. Hi. So it's fantastic. And as well, it could also be a bookmark. But yeah. So I'm doing the same thing with this one, even though, I mean, it's the same thing with the same cloth, but the card is different. So it looks a little different. It's just kind of family, they're related, cousins kind of vibes. And I just thought, hey, and then I was thinking, okay, let me add a border because it looks kind of plain. So when I did this, my heart went and my body just exhaled and I felt calm, like, yes. So that happened, and of course I had to do the other one. And I did it on top as well, so it kind of looks like stitching, but I mean, obviously it's not, but it kind of does look like it. And I just was like, yes, this is fantastic. It looks so much better. Look at that. Just small details, they add so much. So much. And I love this too. Even though the points are kind of strange, the edges, but I really love it. So I glue these down and I put my edging on it, the border, and I'm looking for a focal point for these. I was thinking to add one to the top and the bottom, but it's kind of weird, isn't it? It looks weird. So I brought in my book to see how it would look, and it just looks weird with the two of them. So I just put one on top. I thought, okay, maybe a big one to the top and a smaller one down below, but it just looked weird. So I didn't bother, and I just stuck that one to the top. Again, I could have sewed it on, but yeah, my stuff is nearby. It's not set up. It's not already threaded. I have issues threading needles too. So yeah, I'm using the China marker now to thicken up my border and just give it some more oomph, especially at the tops there where the cloth is. And I just love it. Love them! So I have a double belly band. Woo! Because if I stick it down, and what, right, I'm just demonstrating here, you could write. I think I'm going to stick down that entire piece of the page though, instead of having it flapping up as well as the cloth. I think I'll stick it down. And these are my pieces. Let me know which ones you like. I like all of them. Or maybe I'll leave it because the bottom is plain, so it could be used as a journaling spot too. Okay, I think I'll leave it. So here I'm adding a border on this one too, which I think really lifted it. I was like, yeah, this is what it needed for sure. And then I thought, should I do the diamond shapes as well? And I did. And I loved it. Thank goodness. But yeah, I was like, ooh, this is lovely. I should have done this before. This is lovely. So yeah, these are my pieces. It's so cute. Let me know which ones y'all like the most. And as you can see, it's very textured. I'm going to put it to see. Ta-da! So and this, right, that's my pocket. If I stick it down, or I should say when I stick it down, and I could use the top as a pocket too. Yay! So yeah, and these are my belly bands. That one is pretty fat, but that's okay. And I think for this, right, I forgot to demonstrate that you could put one underneath the cloth as well. So these are my pieces. And these are ones that I did before. So I'm not sure if to use it as a bookmark or a smaller belly band. I don't know. Or even a little tuck spot. I don't know. Haven't decided yet, but it's there for whatever. So these are my pockets. I hope you enjoyed the video. I hope it gave you lots of ideas. I hope it encouraged you to create and to keep creating. And I will see you in the next video. Thank you all so much as always for watching, and I look forward to your comments. Bye!